If you're a mompreneur running a business and you feel burnt out, while you could possibly do a better job at managing your time, the issue might not be time management. You may not have a lack of time. It might just be how you've designed your business. Let's get into it. If you are new around here, I definitely advise you to watch some of my past videos, but my name is Latrice Claiborne and I am a systems and automation strategist, but more importantly, I'm a mompreneur coach. And I've been able to build an amazing, thriving business while having my children home. I homeschool my 4 boys. They are ages 2, 5, 9, and 11, and I only work 2 to 4 hours a day. You may or may not hear them in the background of this video as they are running around playing and having a good time while I'm recording this YouTube video. And as you can imagine, my life is very full, full of events, full of driving and dropping kids off places, full of teaching, full of creating new things, full of clients, full of travel, full of so many different things. I have so many different obligations. One of the things that I realized that I had to do was, in order for me to be fully present and operating in the ministry of motherhood, I needed to make sure that my business did not take the front seat. Here's the problem. Most mompreneurs build their business as if they have unlimited time. We have too many offers. We have too many clients. We have way too many crazy expectations for how much we can invest in the business, especially if you have children, whether they are at school or at home. We invest way too much into the business. And then when we don't meet the goals or hit the mark, or we don't do everything that we expected to do, all of a sudden we're disappointed and we feel like we're a failure. Here's where I had to make some shifts. I had to assume that there will be interruptions. I had to assume that things would not go completely as planned every day. I had to assume that there will be distractions. I had to assume that sometimes I wouldn't feel like doing the work. My energy would just be low. I had to assume that I would have limited hours. The issue is, if your plan only works on a perfect day, you don't have a real plan. You have a fantasy. So first things first, in my order of how things work in my life and how it may work for you as well, was God was number one. Now, when I say God was number one, it's not a cliche, just not a statement that, people just be saying. Put God first, just something that people say. But when I mean God comes first and I put God first, it means that I needed to make sure that whatever I was doing in my business, this was my decision filter. I decided that I was going to be in his will. I was going to operate in what he called me to operate in. And so I needed to be aligned with God's will for my life. So that helped me to filter through the junk and the extra things that were distractions. Me putting God first was my decision filter. I don't know if any of y'all are like me and I have a million ideas. I always have good ideas that just be popping up left and right. And when I first got in business, I used to just follow every good idea. And I had to realize that every good idea was not a God idea, and it was not necessarily an idea that I could implement right now. I had to really not let my ambition get the best of me. And I had to operate in what my assignment was. I had to operate in obedience. I had to operate in what was going to bring me peace and what was going to have me to implement God's will on the earth for my life. So when sitting with my priorities, I'm like, okay, God, what do I need to be building in this season? What do you want me to do in this season? So that's what I mean by God first. That gave me the clarity I need so I know what else, everything else in my life needs to flow in. This helps me have order in my life. Now, you know me, I can go on and on and on about the God piece of this. And another part of the God piece of this is making sure that you are spending time and abiding with God. Making sure that you are abiding with him so you can hear him clearly and hear exactly what he wants you to do, how he wants you to move, where he wants you to sow, where he wants you to spend more time. You can hear those things if you abide in him. And then second is the family. And here is where most mompreneurs, let's be real, this is where we got it twisted, okay? I had to make a decision early on in my business. You've heard me tell this story before. I had to make a decision that I would not allow my family to be last. I would create a business that was a life first business where I lived my life. I enjoyed the things that God has given me. I don't know if y'all can hear my son. He is belting. Okay. He is singing right now. Not sure if you can hear him, but real life, real mompreneur life. Now, when it comes to family, do you understand, moms? Do you understand that this is a ministry? This is an assignment that God gave you. This is an assignment. This is something that he wants you to steward well. Do you think that in him wanting you to steward this well, that this should be the last thing that gets your attention? That you should work and work and work and work and labor. And that after you have done all you can, you done gave to everybody, and now your kids get what's left of you. They get what's left. That ain't it. That was not God's design for motherhood. That was not God's design for this ministry that he has called you to, for this assignment that you are supposed to be stewarding well right now. So sometimes we have to take a step back and we have to realize, all right, I kind of got my priorities out of order and I got to reset some things. It was God, family, and then business. And because I knew that family came before business, this helped me to create boundaries in my business for what I would do, what I wouldn't do, what offers I would present in the marketplace, what times and what hours I would work, what clients I would serve and I would take, how many times I was willing to travel when I wasn't. For me, I had to understand that I was being a good steward over this ministry of motherhood and being a good steward over raising these kids, also while building a business. And oftentimes we hear, oh, you're building a business while also being a mother. The ministry comes first. Motherhood comes first. And then the business comes after that. So we got God, we got family, we got business. It ain't rocket science. It's very simple, but I'm just breaking it down in a way that I hope and I pray that will help you to rethink some things and get realigned. Because, 2026 is coming. And we're making plans and we're building and we're creating strategies. But I want us to look at those plans. I want us to pray about those plans. And then I want us to think about where we have things in what order. So since business is third, I want you to really think about this. Business is meant to serve you. It is not meant to be your master. And for a lot of us, our business have become idols. It's become the thing that we depend on so much. And so I had to sit back and really, really remind myself that the business is a tool that God has blessed me with. He's blessed me with these gifts. He's blessed me with these gifts so that I can start this business. I can serve others. And this business is a tool to bring finances into my home. Also an opportunity for me to bless others with the gifts that God has blessed me with. However, the business is not my source. God is. But when I really, really locked in and made the leap of, okay, I'm going to really trust God and I'm going to shift this thing around and I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to spend less time working, more time at home, more time being a better wife, more time serving God, more time doing ministry things, more time doing marketplace ministry, more time raising my kids. And I'm going to trust God that he is going to bless my business. He's going to provide for my family and that nothing will be missing and nothing will be broken in our family, in our finances, or in our life. Because I'm trusting God and I'm operating exactly in the order that he wants me to operate in. Now, you may be like, how in the world are you doing all of these things in this order in that way? And you only work 2 to 4 hours a day. Listen, I'm telling you right now, this is the honest to God truth. I only work 2 to 4 hours a day while I have these kids, which is why this life is so sustainable for me, because I'm not finna work all day long and be wore out and be tired at the end of the day. 2 to 4 hours is pretty much all you're gonna get out of me. There are seasons where I might sprint and I might do a little bit more during the days than I do on the norm. There are those seasons, but the norm for me is 2 to 4 hours a day. And you might be like, how? I have systems, I have strategy, and I have structure in all of those areas. In my time with God, in how I spend time with God, how I hear from him. There's a system, a strategy, and a structure. In how I do things around the house, from how I do household chores to cooking meals to homeschooling to taking care of my kids. There's systems, there's strategy, and there's structure around it. Even in how I run my business so that I can work only 2 to 4 hours a day. There's systems, there's strategy, and there's structure in every area of my life. Now, I want to continue to teach you more about building a business that is designed around your life. And I really want to dive deep into this, and I do, in my community. It is an absolutely free community. I'm not going to take no money from you to jump into this community. Jump in, build relationships with some of the mompreneurs. I have so enjoyed what I'm building over there. And I've enjoyed seeing the mompreneurs talk to each other, build relationships, get on each other's podcasts, speak at each other's events, meet up in different places. I've loved it. This is a great community for you to have the support that you need. Also, for us to dive into some of these things, I have free resources, free content, free courses, all inside the community. The link is in the description. I can't wait to see you there. I go live there. I'm constantly pouring into my mompreneurs in that community. So join so I can help you to continue to build a life first business that is led by God, where you are aligned and operating in your calling while also raising a family. I can't wait to support you over there. And as y'all know, if you haven't, like the video. Share the video with another ambitious mom like you, and then subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, because I'll be coming at you with more and more content. I can't wait to support you. I'll see you soon inside the community.